You want the moon? Just say the word and I'll throw a lasso around it and pull it down.
Look at the stars. The great kings of the past look down on us from those stars. So whenever you feel alone, just remember that those kings will always be there to guide you.
I don't think it is very useful to speculate on what God might or might not be able to do. Rather, we should examine what he actually does with the universe we live in.
We are all explorers, driven to know what's over the horizon. The most profound discoveries are not necessarily beyond that next star. They're within us, woven into the threads that bind us.
Hello, beautiful people. Happy Thursday, happy Jupiter day, and happy birthday to the Pisces of the world, including Oscar Isaac. He is a Pisces. Brittany Snow as well. Bow Wow is a Pisces. YG. Anybody else you're seeing? Of course, if someone in our community is celebrating a birthday today, Matt Barnes, we would love to honor them, give them a shout out. So let us know in the comments. Oh, I just realized Jupiter has got an extra little character there. Let me fix that. That would be Mercury and Pisces. Just the mistakes, the errors, that's all right. And I know we have a few of our regulars here with us today. Hi, Corby. Happy Thursday. Hello, Rachel. Thanks for joining me for this afternoon live stream. Not gonna lie, it's rainy. You can kind of tell if you've tuned in before. It's very dark in here. So it took me a little bit to get myself together, get the motivation to talk about what's going on with the Libra moon today. So that's what we're going to be diving into. Hey, Bree. Because the moon is making some powerful oppositions. That's the story of this Jupiter day. The sun is in Pisces, the moon is in Libra, and trying to find that internal balance is going to be important today because all of these oppositions are going to make it hard to stay balanced within. When we have an opposition to a Libra placement, it kind of throws that placement off balance. So that's going to be a big theme of today. I'd love to hear, though, how the energy is feeling for you, where the Libra moon is showing up in your chart. Someone on Instagram says Libra is in my 6th house. So finding that balance in your daily routine, your daily schedule, maybe even with your health or your wellness, can be really great if the moon in Libra is moving through your 6th house. Noticing if there are any planets it's moving over or opposing, that's going to be helpful to figure out, okay, how can I remain balanced under this Libra moon? So let's chat about it. I'll pull up the chart and it's pretty clear to see what's going on today. Literally the only thing we're talking about is these oppositions. So the moon right now is at 17 degrees of Libra, but pretty much all morning it was opposing Jupiter and Chiron, which are coming into a conjunction of their own. We'll be talking about this conjunction between Jupiter and Chiron tomorrow, but we're starting to feel it. Remember, Jupiter amplifies everything that it touches, everything that it makes an aspect to, and with Jupiter coming into this conjunction with Chiron, wounding could feel bigger, but there's also more expansive opportunities for healing. It might even be that bigger wounds lead to bigger realizations about how you can heal them. So the moon opposed those two planets this morning, and it's coming into an opposition with Venus tonight as well. This little triple conjunction still playing out loosely. So we're tapping back into that today as the Libra moon opposes all 3 planets. In the 12th house for me. So I'm still slightly dragging. I'm feeling that too. Even though it's moving into my 2nd house, I'm like, for whatever reason, I don't know if it's Pisces season or what, but I have just been I've been very slow to get going the past couple days. I am in sweatpants on the bottom as well. So I'm right there with you, Corby. Hello, Nelson. Moon is in my first house. Rachel says, I've been sick these past few days, but thankfully feeling better today. Sending you lots of healing vibes, Rachel. Yeah. Had so many dreams last night that touched so many areas. I woke up emotional. I had some wild dreams last night too, Corby. And there really wasn't a whole lot going on astrologically, but it is Pisces season. Mercury's in Pisces. Saturn is in Pisces. Neptune is in Pisces. Dreams, big dreams, whether it's like big aspirations or actual dreams when you're sleeping, are definitely part of Pisces season. I had some really powerful messages come through my dreams too. Okay, so let's talk about this opposition. I'll pull it up on the chart again because you all know, if you've joined me before, I like to look at oppositions like a make or break energy. It's kind of like two planets playing tug of war, but if they work together, we can find this perfect balance. They can complete each other, right? Like if you could imagine an opposition like a rope, and these planets can pull at each other and attract each other. If one planet is stronger, maybe it pulls in the energy of the other planet and vice versa. But also, if neither planet is pulling the rope just falls. So we kind of need that tension to complete the opposition, right? Oftentimes, the theme of mirroring comes up when we look at oppositions as well, because to be in opposition, we are clearly directly facing whatever it is we're opposing, right? And you can see the moon directly opposing, directly facing off, or just facing the triple conjunction between Jupiter, Chiron, and Venus. So we're clearly seeing what's going on the other side of the chart. Our internal emotions with the moon in Libra, trying to find that internal balance, that internal harmony. We're clearly seeing what might be throwing us off balance, or those big wounds as Jupiter and Chiron are next to each other in the chart and come into this conjunction. And with Jupiter on the other side of the opposition first thing in the morning, it could have easily thrown us off balance, right? Like, Jupiter can show up in so many ways. Again, noticing what area of your chart this triple conjunction is playing out in. Jupiter's probably amplifying that area of your chart, and maybe there's some wounding coming up too, especially because Chiron doesn't move very quickly in Aries. So wherever Chiron has been in your chart, wounding in that area definitely has been around for a while, and we're probably still working through that for a while. So Jupiter is just amplifying that, and the Libra moon is making it very hard to, there's the craving to stay balanced, but Jupiter is pushing us off balance. So I told you balance is going to be the theme of the day today. And again, with the moon opposing Chiron, we can clearly see our wounds. So that's really what's been playing out all day today. I think also Jupiter and Chiron and Aries make us feel like we need to figure this out now. We need to do something about it now. We need to heal now. And the Libra moon on the other end of the chart is like, all things take time. All things are flowing to us with grace and ease. If we can just remain centered and peaceful within, everything else will work itself out. So these two energies are kind of at play, where Jupiter and Chiron and Aries are like, no, we got to go for it. And the Libra moon is like, no, we're just here to receive. It's this push and pull between giving and receiving and the self and others. And with the moon in Libra, just in general, the waning gibbous moon in Libra, we're coming off of the full moon. This is a very introspective time. And when the moon is in Libra, it can feel very natural to bounce our emotions off of other people, especially those we're in close relationship with. So you might notice patterns of mirroring coming up. Maybe are you projecting your big wounds onto someone else in order to process them? And are you conscious of it? Maybe even just hearing this right now, you're like, oh goodness, was I doing that? Or are you looking to someone on the other end of a relationship to balance you out? That could be a theme that comes up. So how are your closest relationships? Remember, these aren't always romantic. It could be your best friend. It could be a parent. It could be a coworker. How are they mirroring back to you how you are feeling internally? Are they mirroring back to you ways you are internally imbalanced? Looking at this from the perspective of the waning gibbous moon and noticing, kind of processing what has come up under the full moon and what is still coming up as you maybe talk about those big feelings that have come to you over the past couple days, or bounce those off of other people. See how they're mirroring them back to you. Corby says, with the Aries energy hitting my 6th house, I've been off since the week began. Just decided to lean into it and give myself grace. I don't even have the energy to figure it out. Yeah, well, that's also the moon in your 12th house. It's just like, whatever. It's going to play out how it's going to play out, right? We're sending you love. Sending you love. I feel that too. I'm definitely feeling that same vibe. These planets are in my 7th house, and relationships have definitely been highlighted these past couple weeks. Have to do more introspection, though, on what I actually want, not giving into fear. Yeah, trust over fear always. Faith over fear always, right? Yeah. Great realizations, though. Great realizations. And the moon will come into an opposition with Venus tonight at very late tonight, 11 p.m. Pacific time, so overnight for many of you on the East Coast or in the Eastern time zones. Again, because the moon is only making these oppositions, it's making imbalanced angles to Uranus right now and to the sun as well. These imbalanced angles, we don't talk about them as much because they're minor aspects, but again, the feeling of trying to find our balance, but also it being a little awkward and being pulled in different directions could definitely be coming up for a lot of us. Tonight, though, as the moon comes into this opposition with Venus, we are, whoa, a ton of rain just hit my window. As the moon comes into this opposition with Venus, it's like we're attracted to pleasure. We're attracted to indulgence. And with Jupiter still very close by, it's really easy to overdo it and give into indulgence, give into pleasure. This is one of those nights where it's like if you've got, I don't know why I just thought of Oreos, but if you've got a pack of Oreos in your pantry, you might end up eating all of them, so watching yourself a little bit if you're not wanting to overdo it, or noticing, trying to find that balance and not totally go headfirst into pleasure or indulgence. Basically not setting yourself up to have a hangover, a sugar hangover, to feel gross tomorrow because you overdid it tonight. Now, what's interesting too with Venus and Aries, we can be very selfish in our desires. Aries is all about the self and the ego. And so because we have this deep need and this deep craving for love and affection and pleasure late tonight as the Libra moon opposes Venus, we want to make sure that if we are feeling needy, like, oh, I just need this, I just want you to cuddle me, I don't know about you, but I've definitely been there before. It's really easy to come on too strong, be even selfish in our needs, not really take into account the person on the other end of the relationship's needs as well. So again, finding that balance within yourself and within relationships, so we're not coming into it fully selfish or only trying to have our needs fulfilled, if that makes sense. Really just staying balanced, trying to stay balanced, coming back to your own balance if you're feeling the scales tipping. Yeah, bracing myself for another wild round of dreams with that transit. I was thinking the same thing for you, Corby, because Corby's such a vivid dreamer. And I would say if anybody is also experiencing very vivid dreams overnight tonight, noticing, are there subconscious desires, subconscious needs that are coming up through your dreams? Noticing like, oh, I dreamed about, I don't know, I'm not even going to give an example, but basically if you're noticing you're dreaming about something specific or particular that isn't really present in your daily life, maybe that's your subconscious telling you, oh, I actually am attracted to this. I am drawn to this. I do want more of this in my life. Hello, Wendy from Oregon. So today is all about, it's like the Libra scales, right? Libra is the only sign that is not associated with a living thing. It's the scales. And if we can just keep our emotional scales somewhat balanced, somewhat centered, not letting Jupiter or Chiron or Venus throw off the scales completely. It's okay if we tip a little bit. It's just very easy as the day goes on to fully let ourselves totally get off balance. Indulging on gluten-free pizza. It's really yummy and had a tarot reading. Love it. Yeah, so indulgence is normal. Indulgence is a healthy part of life. And as the moon opposes Venus tonight, it's like, yes, indulge. But is this going to totally throw you off balance for the next day or emotionally affect you? You know, just taking part of balance is indulgence. And that is a theme that might come up tonight too. Like, are you noticing maybe you are withholding yourself from pleasure? That could be something that comes up as the moon opposes Venus too, not allowing yourself to fully feel pleasure. And that's where that balance can come in the other direction of like, no, it's okay to indulge a little bit. I am here to have a human experience. I am here to feel pleasure and to feel good. So it's okay to indulge sometimes. It's just when that becomes all the time, every day, that we start to get into tricky situations. Balance, balance, balance is the word of the day. And that's it. That's really all we're feeling is this opposition, this pull, this desire and craving for balance, but also having to fight a little harder to stay there, to stay in balance today. So with that, let's come back to today's affirmation, which is balance comes from within. This came up as I was writing the forecast because when the moon is in Libra, especially when the moon opposes Venus, it's like often we're looking for someone else to give us love, someone else to complete us. Oh, I'll be balanced, or even something. I'll be balanced when I have this. Oh, when I have 10 grand in my bank account, it'll be easier to live a balanced life because I won't be so worried about, money, and I won't be hustling so hard. Is there something that you're waiting for to find balance? Is there someone you're waiting for to complete you, to balance you out? Remembering that balance comes from within. Our ability to emotionally regulate helps us remain emotionally balanced. Our ability to complete ourselves, to give ourselves what we need, helps us stay balanced. If we're walking around constantly looking for someone to balance us out, we can't put that much pressure on someone else, right? And we're probably going to end up attracting someone who's imbalanced in themselves because we attract what we are, right? So finding that balance first and then allowing someone else to come in and enhance what's already working well. Such a good reminder that we can't find that balance any other place but within. It's easy to look to other things to fulfill and nurture us. Yes. Yeah, especially with that craving for pleasure too. Again, it could go the other way of like, oh, I'm trying to stay so balanced and so on top of my diet that you're not allowing yourself to like taste your food and feel pleasure and have something good to eat. It's okay. The Libra moon reminds us that duality is balance. Duality is beautiful. You have to have masculine energy to balance out feminine energy. You have to indulge in order to fully appreciate when you are making those healthy decisions. We have to have both. I was just about to say, I'm finding it easy to stay balanced today. Maybe it's that first house energy, like confident in my skin and willing to be introspective today. Amazing. And a great reminder that oppositions aren't always throwing us off balance. They can be that attraction energy, where maybe, the Libra moon in your first house is helping you attract that confidence from all those Aries placements and complete that balance from within. Maybe that confidence is what is going to balance you out. And the Aries energy is kind of, you're pulling that in a little bit with the moon in Libra and being like, okay, I got me, I got myself. It's okay to be a little selfish today and not totally people please. Another place balance can show up, self versus others, how much energy we're giving to others versus how much energy we're pouring back into ourselves. So everybody's going to be at a different place with their definition of balance, with their experience of balance, with their experience of the Libra moon, depending on where it's showing up in your chart and where this conjunction in Aries is showing up in your chart. But asking yourself, how can I find more balance for me, for myself, not for anybody else around me, but just for me? All right, and we're going to finish up with a card pull from the Rose Oracle today. talking so much about Libra energy and Venus energy, felt like the right choice. So as I shuffle up the cards, this is your chance to ask any final questions, share any final realizations or insights that you had today, share how this energy is feeling for you, share how balance shows up for you. I would love to know. And as we wrap up our short little chat together today, knowing that you can find that internal balance just by taking a moment, taking 5 minutes to yourself, taking one deep breath for yourself to just recalibrate. In this waning gibbous phase of the moon, a lot has come up during this full moon, especially with Saturn moving into Pisces, Pluto still at the 29th degree right now for the next couple weeks. So, and Saturn at 0 degrees. We've got 2 major players at critical degrees. So that can be something that throws us a little bit off balance too. But knowing that we always have our breath, we always have the ability to tap into the tools we have and use the tools we have to recalibrate. And that's what the waning gibbous moon phase is all about. Like, how can we just take some time, process what's been going on, and figure out what do I need to release under the last quarter moon, which will show up for us next week. So this is a time to realize what's out of balance and what am I ready to fully release in this releasing phase of the moon cycle. Grounding and clearing my chakras has been really helping me stay balanced. I started doing the chakra cleansing before I go to bed. Beautiful. Yeah, using those tools, taking a moment for yourself, whatever that looks like, to, even when you're clearing your chakras, clearing your energy centers, you're essentially rebalancing yourself, noticing if there's any parts of you that feel heavier, that are holding stagnant energy, and clearing them out so you can be a balanced, clear channel again. All right, let's practice this by taking a deep breath and imagining the air in our body moving all the way from our root chakra all the way up through our crown, and then as we release, cleansing our body. Here we go. Breathing in, hold it, and release into the cards. What do we need to know? Codes of the seeds. The blueprint is within you. Take the next steps. It's a woman who's in a little seed capsule below the earth. So beautiful. Very much feels internal, as we've been talking so much about internal balance. I just flipped right to it in the guidebook too. Always great confirmation. Here it is. The blueprint is within you. Take the next step. Seeds come in knowing exactly what to do. Within them, they hold the potential of the entire forests and rose gardens. Seeds have within them an intelligent timing that's connected with the intelligence of the cosmos. We are all seeds, future forests and gardens waiting to be born. We each hold the codes of a new humanity within us. Change is our natural state. Seeds must be buried in the darkness before they can bloom into the light. Seeds can't even begin to bloom without embracing the fertile void of the winter soil. They can't flower without outgrowing the constraints of the bud. They can't bear fruit without releasing their beauty to the earth and letting go of the very thing about them that captivated others. This card delivers the message that within you, you have all you need to create what you're destined to create, to move through everything that life delivers, and to navigate your way through any terrain. The blueprint has always been seated within. Trust that you have within you the codes for the most glorious rose garden waiting to bud and bloom. Trust those codes. Remember that blueprint. All you need to do now is take the next step, and tomorrow take the next. If you continue taking baby steps each day, on a day not too far from today, you'll look back and discover that the most breathtaking garden of roses is all around you. And then fruit will follow. Today, just take the next step. You know what to do. The blueprint is encoded within you. What is your soul calling you to do? What's one baby step you can take? What a beautiful card. I love that this came up as we've been talking so much about our own internal codes, our own internal balance, what balance means for you. And rather than relating this to the Libra moon today, I would just encourage you, because we have such a potent opposition playing out in the chart, to look at your own birth chart. If you don't already have a copy, you can get one for free. Just scan the QR code or head to thespiritualjournalist.com/birth chart. But when I read this card, I'm like, the blueprint is within you, and it's talking about the blueprint of your soul. And I'm like, what is a birth chart if not a blueprint of our soul? And so noticing where the Libra moon is in your chart, where this conjunction in Aries is in your chart, noticing if there's any oppositions in your natal chart. Maybe just taking an introspective moment to get to know yourself a little bit better, to see, is there any wisdom or any nuggets that are coming up for me as I look at my birth chart? Are there any indicators of where I'm naturally off balance or where I naturally find balance? Sometimes, I mean, every time I look at my birth chart, I discover something new. But sometimes just taking that moment to check in with myself through my birth chart can be like, yes, this reminder of how I came into the world, what blueprint I chose, and what feels really balanced for me, and what also requires a little more work to stay in balance. So that could be helpful, but also you already know what you need to do. The code is already within you. The blueprint is already within you. So nobody outside of yourself coming back to, stop looking for other people to balance you out, other things to balance you out. The blueprint is already within you. You already know what you need to find balance. You already know yourself better than anybody else on this planet. So it's already there. It's already within you, like a seed, knowing exactly what to do, just trusting yourself, trusting your intuition, and staying balanced through these next steps that you take. Yeah, it does seem aligned. I'm so glad we took this time together today. It always makes me feel better. And I'm just so grateful that you all tune in when I can go live and continue to join me here, sharing your insights, seeing me, supporting other people in the community. So grateful for each and every one of you, truly. And I hope you're having a beautiful day. I hope that if it's as stormy and gray as it is where you are, as it is here where you are, that's what I'm trying to say. I hope you're finding warmth and some coziness and allowing yourself some downtime to rest, some slowness. That's part of balance too. Yes, there's these periods where we're going for it and we're charging full speed ahead, but that has to be balanced out with slower periods, time for introspection and time for integration. Yeah. Especially for you, Corby. I know you've been creating a lot and birthing a lot, and with the moon about to move into your first house, I'm sure a new surge of energy will be coming. But if you are a Scorpio rising like Corby, or even a Libra rising, and the moon is still in your 12th house, knowing that rest is a part of the balance too. Have a beautiful evening wherever you are. I will be back tomorrow to talk through the energy of Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We've kind of got a sandwich of energy. Friday is a little low-key. Saturday, we've got a lot going on. And then Sunday kind of calms back down again. So we'll take you through the whole wave, the whole ride of the weekend tomorrow. And make sure that you're ready to go to experience the energy coming our way. Again, I hope you have a beautiful rest of your evening. And I hope to Thank you so much for joining us and aligning with the energy of the universe today. If you enjoyed this morning's episode of Transits Today, you can join our live astrology discussion every weekday morning right here wherever you're watching. And head to thespiritualjournalist.com to read your daily astrology forecast and browse the Spiritual Shop. The most fun way to help keep these forecasts free and support more content like this is to buy yourself a little something on our website. But if you're feeling extra generous, you can also buy me a coffee to fuel future live streams. Just tap the link in the description or head to buymeacoffee.com and search The Spiritual Journalist. And speaking of, you can also tune in to The Spiritual Journalist, our weekly live interview where we ask our guests questions about everything from crystals and manifestation to mental health and the environment. Those conversations stream live right here wherever you're watching now every Tuesday. I'm so grateful you found us here, and I can't wait for our next conversation.